Hello everyone, welcome back to InfoScience. So in today's video we shall discuss about the reflection and refraction of light. But before going to the topic, let us know about light. So light is what? It is a form of energy, and also it is a form of electromagnetic radiation. So this light, it brings the sensation of sight, and this light always it travels in a straight line. That is the rectilinear propagation. Now next comes the ray. So you see in the picture, this is the ray of a light. So ray is what? It is the straight line indicating the path of the light. Next comes the beam of light. So you could see in the picture, this is the prism, and this prism shows, you see, the beam of light. So this beam of light means what? It is the bundle of rays originating from the same source of light in a particular direction. So this beam of light, it is of three types. So the first is the parallel beam. So in parallel beam, you see here the rays, it constitute the beam that are parallel to one another. Then in the next one, you see, that is the divergent beam. So in divergent beam, here the rays are actually diverse, or they appear to diverge from a point. So the beam containing such rays, they are known as the divergent beam, and the rays are known as the divergent rays. Next is the convergent beam. So you see in convergent beam, what happens here, the rays, they actually meet or appear to meet at a point. So the beam containing such rays, they are known as the convergent beam, and the rays here, it is known as the convergent rays. So there are three types of beam of light, that is the parallel beam, divergent beam, and convergent beam. Now let us know about the reflection of light. So refraction means what? It is the bouncing back of light rays on striking the surface. So you could see this picture, how the refraction it takes place. You can see in this picture. Now let us know about the terminology which is involved in the case of the reflection. So is there different terminology, that is the incident ray, point of incident. So all this we'll know one by one. So you see in the picture, so first is the incident ray. Incident ray is what? It is the ray that strikes the surface. So you could see which one is the incident ray. Next is the point of incidence. So the point of incidence is the what? It is the point at which the incident ray strikes the surface. Then next is the refracted ray. Refracted ray is the ray that bounces back on striking the surface. Then next comes the normal ray. So normal ray is, you see, the perpendicular that is drawn to the surface. Next is the angle of incidence. So the angle of incidence is the angle between the incident ray and the normal ray. Then angle of refraction, you see. So the angle between the refracted ray and the normal ray. And the last comes the plane of refraction. So this is the plane where the incident ray, refracted ray, and the normal ray, it lies. So in the picture you could see which one is the incident ray, then which one is the normal ray, then which one is the refracted ray. So all these are some important terminology which is involved in case of the refraction. Now let us know about the laws of reflection. So there are certain sets of laws that are obeyed by all surfaces that show reflection. So the first law of reflection is what? The incident ray, refracted ray and the normal ray all lie on the same plane. So you see in the picture. Next is the second law of refraction, that is the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of refraction. So in this picture you see how the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of refraction. So these are the two important laws of refraction. So now we'll know about the different types of sources of light. So you see, as we know that there are different objects that emit light, so depending upon the size of the object, there are two types of sources of light. So one is the point sources. So in here, these are the sources that are too small in size. Then next is the finite source. Here the sources that have certain height. So these are the types of sources of light that depends upon the size of the object. Next is the types of mirror. So mirrors, they show the phenomena of refraction. So depending upon the type of the refracting surface of the mirrors, so there are two types of mirror. So one is the plane mirror and another one is the spherical mirror. So you can see here in the picture which one is the plane mirror and which one is the spherical mirror. So this plane mirror, so these are those that have the plane refracting surface, but in case of the spherical mirror, they are those that they have some curved refracting surface. So this spherical mirror, it is of two types. So the one, it is the concave mirror. So in concave mirror, here the refraction occurs to the inner surface of the mirror, and the another one is the convex mirror. So here the refraction, it occurs through outer surface of the mirror. So the two types of the spherical mirror are the concave mirror and the convex mirror. Next is the types of images. So different mirrors, it form different types of images. So we'll know one by one. So an image is what? An image is formed when the refracted rays actually meet or appear to meet at certain point. So accordingly, there are two types of images are formed depending upon whether the refracted rays meet or not. So these two types are, the first is the real images. So the real images, these are formed when the refracted rays actually meet at a certain point. So here you see in the picture how the real image is formed. So this real image, it is always inverted and it can be obtained on the screen. Then the next another type of image is the virtual image. So this virtual image, it is formed when the refracted rays do not meet actually but appear to meet at a certain point. So you see in the picture how the virtual image is formed. So this virtual image, it is always erect and it cannot be obtained on a screen. So these are the two types of images which is formed in different mirror. So you see in the picture, so this is the image formed by the plane mirror. So the plane mirror, the image that is formed, it is virtual, erect, same size. Then here the distance, you could see here the distance of the object, it is equal to the distance of the image from the mirror, and it is laterally inverted. Now here one term has been used, that is laterally inverted. So here one phenomena is there, that is the lateral inversion. So you see lateral inversion is what? It is the phenomena when the left hand side becomes the right hand side or vice versa. So when an object is exposed to the plane mirror, you see in the picture you could see here, so when it is exposed to the plane mirror, here the left hand side will become the right hand side, means they becomes the exact. So now let us know about the various terminology which is needed in the image formation. So you see in the picture, so first comes the center of curvature. You see it is the center of curvature, it is the center of the spherical mirror. Then next comes the principal axis. So principal axis you can see here in the picture. So here the line that is passing straight through the center of curvature. Then you see the pole. Which one is the pole? You see it is the point where the polar axis strikes the mirror. The next is the focus. So it is the point where all the refracted ray meet or appear to meet. And last it is the focal length. So focal length, it is the distance between the focus and the pole. So yes, and one more thing, that is the relationship between the focal length and the radius of curvature. It is always the half of the radius. So these are the various important terminology which will keep on coming in the image formation. Now let us know about the rules. So how the image is obtained from the concave mirror. So the first rule is what? So you see in the picture, the incident ray that comes parallel to the polar axis after reflection passes through the focus. Then the next rule is what? You see the incident ray coming from the focus after reflection becomes parallel to the polar axis. So you can see here in the picture how the incident ray that is coming from the focus after reflection, it becomes parallel to the polar axis. Then the third rule is that the incident ray coming through the center of curvature, it retraces its path. And the last rule is what? You see in the picture how the last rule. So here the incident ray striking at the pole by a certain angle is refracted through the same angle. So you can see here in the picture how you see the incident ray. So that incident ray, when it strikes at the pole by a certain angle, it is refracted through the same angle. Now let us know about the nature and the position of the image that is formed by the concave mirror. So you see in the picture, so in the first picture you see the position of the object, it is at infinity. So when the object is at infinity, so here the position of the image, it is formed at the focus, and the size of the image that is formed, it is highly diminished and point size. And the nature of the image, you see, it is real and inverted. Then you see in the next figure, the B1, you see here the position of the object, it is beyond the center of curvature. So when the object is beyond the center of curvature, so the image form is between the focus and the center of curvature, and here the size of the image, it is diminished, and the image form, it is real and inverted. Then next you see the figure C. So here you see the position of the object, it is at the center of curvature. So when the object is at center of curvature, here the image will also formed, the position of the image will be also at the center of curvature, and here the size of the image will be also same size, and the nature also, it is real and inverted. Then you see the next figure, that is the D. So when here you see when the position of the object is between the center of curvature and the focus, so here the image that is formed, it is beyond the center of curvature. Then here the size of the image, it is enlarged, and it is real and inverted. Then you see the next image, next picture you see, that is the E1. So here the position of the object is at the focus, so here the image that is formed, it is at the infinity, and here the size of the image you see, it is highly enlarged and real and inverted. Then the last one you see, here the position of the object is between the pole and the focus. So when the object is between the pole and the focus, here the image will be, position of the image will be behind the mirror, and the size will be, it will be enlarged, and here the image is virtual and erect. So you see, out of all these, here when the object is between the pole and focus, so here the image which is formed, it is virtual and erect. Now let us know the rules. You see how the image is obtained by the convex mirror. So the first rule you see in the picture, the first rule, here the incident ray coming parallel to the polar axis diverges but appears to pass through the focus. So in the picture you can see here how the incident ray that is coming parallel to the polar axis, so it diverges but it appears to pass through the focus. Then here the next rule you see, so here the incident ray appears to be coming from the center of curvature but rebounds back. So you can see how you can see here in the picture how the incident ray that is appears to be coming from the center of curvature, it rebounds back. So these are the two rules that is needed in the to obtain the image by the convex mirror. The next is the nature and position of the image formed by the convex mirror. So you see here in the picture, so in the first case you see when the position of the object is at infinity, you see here, then here the image is formed will be, the position of the image here, it will be at the focus behind the mirror, and you see here the size of the image will be highly diminished and point size, and nature will be virtual and erect. Then in the next case you see, in the next picture you see here when the position of the object is between the infinity and the pole of the mirror, here the image the image will be, the position of the image will be between the pole and the focus behind the mirror. Then the size of the image will be diminished and the nature of the image will be virtual and erect. So one thing we have got that in convex mirror the nature of the image is always virtual and erect, but in case of the concave mirror, only in one case only it is virtual and erect. Others, you see here, all the image formation it is real and inverted. Now let us know about the various uses of the concave mirror. So this concave mirror, it is used for various purposes. It is used in the ptosis, then it is used by the dentist to see the cavities, then it is also used in making the solar devices, that is the in the solar cooker. Then it is used as the saving mirror, and it is also used as the headlight of a car. So these are the various uses of the concave mirror. So next is the various uses of the convex mirror. So you see, the convex mirror, it is often used to see around the corners. So it is mostly used in the busy corridors of some very very big offices. So this convex mirror is used. Then next, you see, it is also used as the rear view mirror in the car. So the convex mirror, it is used in these cases.